Welcome to Church Tech Unmuted, the podcast where faith, faders, and function come together. I'm your host, Felix Aguirre, founder of Faith Tech Pros. Whether you're mixing front of house, managing live streams, or training volunteers, this show brings you real-world advice, tech tips, and stories to help you serve with clarity and confidence. Let's dive in. Hey, welcome back to Church Tech Unmuted, where we give a voice to the people behind the board, the booth, and the broadcast. Today, we're talking about something that goes deeper than gear or plugins. We're talking about people, specifically how to build and sustain a healthy church tech team. Because you can have the best live stream rig in your city, but if your team is burning out, fighting, or never growing, your Sundays are going to suffer, and so will the rest of the congregation. So today, let's talk culture, care, and collaboration, and how to make it last. I have 6 points that I want to talk about in this subject. The first one is vision first. Start with the why. Before you train skills or schedule rotations, your team needs to know why this matters, because church tech isn't just about slides and sound, it's ministry. It's really important to clarify the vision first of the church. Clarify what the Lord has given your pastor, your church, as the vision of the church. Make sure that the team knows this and lives by this vision. We all have to be in the same spirit and the same mindset and agree to the same vision that the church has. So it's really important. I think that's the very top one. Make sure that the team knows and agrees with the vision of the church. Church tech really exists to remove distractions and to help people encounter God. That is our job as tech members, as sound guys, camera people, to limit these distractions so that we can point the church closer to God, so that we could eliminate feedback or eliminate pops, or maybe people that are watching online on the live stream, make sure that the camera angles are correct, that they're not pointing where they're not supposed to be, that it doesn't look blurry, to minimize these distractions in order to let the people seek Him and not distract them from seeking Him. Every mix, lyric slide, or video feed is about 1, serving the Lord, and 2, serving others, your peers, well. Something that you can do to enforce this part or this point with your team is to talk about the mission in every training, not just the gear. Talk about, again, the vision of the church, the vision of the tech team, why we do what we do, why the Lord has called us to be here. This is not just a hobby. It's not something that we do just because it's cool or it's fun. It is a calling, and we have to know why we do what we do, and we have to let the team know why they're called to be here, that they may also have that same vision and that same understanding of why we're all here. Ask your team what they think success looks like on a Sunday. They have to understand what success looks like from the pastor, from the church leadership, in order for them to be able to reach that success. If they don't know what they're aiming to do or what the vision of the pastor is regarding church tech, they won't know what to do to get there, to get where the vision is, where we need them to be. You can also share testimonies. Let them see how what they do is impacting real people. Share any of your testimonies, any of your stories that you have of growing up and when you started in tech and how it's changed since then. Maybe you know someone who isn't in tech and they have an opinion about how it sounded or how it looked, or anything that they could input from the perspective of the congregation on the other side of the board, on the other side of the screen. A healthy team starts with a shared purpose, not just a shared schedule. Like I said, it's really important to make sure that everybody is on the same page. Everybody understands what the vision of the church and the vision of the team is. I know I've said this already 3 times and it sounds repetitive, but it's very important. It's very true. Second point I want to talk about today is recruiting and onboarding correctly. Let's talk about how you build your team in the first place. Here's an example of what doesn't work. Hey, do you like computers? Do you want to run ProPresenter forever? Let's not do that. Let's not have that mindset of, hey, this guy knows how to use a computer. Let's bring him on and have him throw slides. Just click the next arrow every Sunday here and there. But that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for people who know how to do the work. We are looking for people who are willing to learn, people who are available, people who have that heart of a servant to serve the Lord. It's better to look for character over competence. Skills can be taught, but attitude and humility, you can't teach that. That comes straight from the Lord. That comes straight from having a relationship with God. Those are things that you would see from someone who has a relationship with God. It's doesn't matter how competent they are. It doesn't matter if they could be a professional IT person or a professional sound person or a professional TV producer or whatever it may be. If they don't have an attitude of humility, then it doesn't matter because they're not here to serve the Lord. And that's the more important part. We have to be here to serve him. Everything else can be taught. When you're recruiting new people, it's really important to let them see how everything works, have them shadow you first. You have to make sure that they understand what we do here, what we do as tech team. It's let them observe before they commit to something, because it's horrible to kind of throw someone into something like I did in the example, and then they don't know what they're getting themselves into. They don't know what the commitment really entails. So it's really important to have people just shadow you, people that are interested in joining the team, just have them shadow you so they know what it's like, so they know what they're committing to. And with that, it's important to onboard people slowly, take them one step at a time, different phases, whatever it may be, but do it slowly so that they have time to understand everything they're learning. They can understand what the commitment is, what the requirement is. Training in layers helps them absorb the information better. And that way, we are giving the best that we can to the Lord. Here's a tip regarding onboarding. I think it's really good to split it up in at least 3 different phases or weeks. Like, for example, week 1 could be a shadowing week. Maybe they could just shadow you, see what it's like, see what you do, see how everything is done, understand the workflow, understand the service flow of everything. Week 2 or phase 2, they can assist. They can help you by, whatever you need, showing them how to patch something, showing them where to grab stuff or to grab gear that needs to be done, or showing them how you EQ something for this room or whatever it may be. Have them assist in everything, not just watch you do things anymore. And week 3, you could just have them run with a safety net, have them run the service, have them run cans, have them run switcher, broadcast, whatever it may be. But you watch them now, make sure that they're doing things how they are supposed to be doing things. And if there's any mistakes, you're right there. You could just hop in and correct the mistakes with love and care, correct the mistakes, so that way they don't make those mistakes anymore, but they have their hands on the equipment, their hands on during live services or rehearsal or whatever it may be. But just have them start running the service, start running the gear, but with you watching them. Third point I want to talk about today is to have the team rehearse together, not separately. Have your worship team, your tech team, your production team, cameras, broadcast, whoever is part of the team, all practice at the same time, not separately or different days or different times. This one's huge if you want a unified worship experience. Your tech team needs to rehearse with the worship team. It's as simple as that. Tech team needs to know what the worship team is doing. Tech team needs to know who is leading what song or any transitions that the worship team does. That we all need to be in that same page and that same mindset to be able to give our best and, present the best that we can for the congregation in the room and the congregation in the live stream. And practicing together builds a couple of things within the team. Number 1, it builds musical awareness. Your front of house engineer learns the set, dynamics, solo movements, like I said, transitions, any things that the worship team may change or do that aren't part of a song. Maybe your worship leader wants to throw in a guitar solo at the end of chorus 2, even though on the track it doesn't have that, but that's what the worship leader is calling for. Front of house guy or camera person or broadcast person, they all have to know what's going on. All have to know that change in order to be on the same page. It also builds confidence. Volunteers learn to anticipate cues and transitions. Maybe let's say the worship leader loves how that solo after the second chorus sounded. And they want to keep that from now on for that song. So every time they do that song, that solo after that second chorus is going to be there. And over time, the team starts knowing that that's there, and they're able to start anticipating these cues or anticipating these solos or musical transitions. And that also builds unity. It stops the quote unquote us versus them tension between tech and musicians. We are all one team. They are not separate teams. We are all one team with the same mindset to worship the Lord, glorify Him. And we all have to be in that same page and knowing what is going on, knowing what the set is, knowing any changes. We all have to be in communication. A couple of things you can do to make these things happen is to, number one, plan joint rehearsals, even if it's only for 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it may be. Plan the rehearsals where everybody is there at the same time, running through these songs, rehearsing cues. Just everybody has to be there during these practices. You can also set up scenes or presets during rehearsal, not during service. That way you can recall these presets, you can recall these scenes already during service. Like if you know that, again, the example from earlier, there's a solo after chorus too. You could save that as a preset on your board or on your camera switcher, wherever it may be. And then when that section comes along, you know that that's going to happen. You know that's already set. So you just recall that preset and it sends the camera there or it brings the guitar up and everything flows better. Everything is more organic and you know that you're not going to miss that cue. All of this is not just practice. I guess you could think of it as pre-worship for the team as well, preparing for the worship, preparing to give our best to the Lord, preparing the church for when the congregation comes in, they're ready to just receive from the Lord with no distractions and everything is in the same page. Everybody knows what they're doing. Something that we've all heard growing up is practice makes perfect. But I've heard it a couple times where practice makes permanent, and that's true. However we're going to practice, that's what's going to stick. So we have to practice the correct things the right way so it sticks the right way. All right, the fourth point I want to talk about is constant training, constant growth. Tech is always changing, which means if you're not learning, you're falling behind. But here's the catch. Not everyone learns the same way, and not everyone wants to become a guru. So how do you build a culture of growth? Some ways you could do that are to, number one, host a quarterly team nights, teach one skill, share food, cast vision, fellowship, get to know each other. That way everybody is in the same mindset. Everybody understands again what the vision is of the church, of the tech team, and everyone gets to know each other. Teach one skill. It's good to cross-train everyone so everyone knows a little bit of everything in case there ever comes a need that the pro presenter guy needs to cover cameras one day because the camera person called down, there's no one else, whatever it may be. It's good for everyone to know a little bit of everything, just enough, to cover in spots to be able to assist the rest of the team and help out. Number two, you can create a YouTube playlist of your favorite tutorials that then you can share with the team so that everyone has access to them. That way, that they're learning what you want them to learn, that they're learning what needs to be learned for the needs of the team at the church. So it's a great idea to just create a playlist of your favorite tutorials, send it to them. If you have another video that you want to update it, let them know, hey, there's a new video on the playlist. Watch it when you get a chance. That way everybody is learning the same things and knowing the same things. You can also encourage everyone to bring one new thing they learned to share once a month. That way you know that they are learning, that they are watching those videos and growing their skills. At the church that I work at, we have like a weekly check-in thing on Basecamp, which is a software that we use for the team to keep in communication. Our worship pastor has dropped in a weekly check-in that asks, what crafts have we learned? We are supposed to be watching craft videos on a website that he sent us. And he wants to know every week, what did we learn? What new thing did we learn that we could bring to the team that we could grow from as well? So it's good to have this. You don't have to do it every week. You could do it once a month. Just have them bring something that they have learned, something that has helped them grow, helped them understand certain concepts, and that can help the team grow as well and advance. Also, don't wait for failure to train people. Train during the calm, not just the crisis. It's important that when the crisis comes, we are trained. We know what to do. We know what can happen. We know what to expect. So it's a good idea to train people, not during services, outside of services, during any gatherings, during rehearsals. That way, when something comes last minute during service, people are prepared for it. We spoke about this in the last episode, how sometimes we'll just get stuff thrown to us last minute, and we have to be able to manage that and have to be able to adjust for that. So it's important to know what to do. It's important to be trained for when these situations arise, we know how to do them. But continue training the team. Never stop training the team. Never stop learning. Never stop growing. Tech is going to change from one day to the next, and we have to be prepared for that change. We have to be prepared to learn and train people, train ourselves so that we all do better, so that we all may do our best that we can to serve the Lord with the gifts and the talents that He has given us. Point 5 I want to talk about is building relationships on purpose. You don't have a tech team unless you have relationships. And unfortunately, the booth is often isolated, literally and relationally. What you can do is you can plan hangouts that have nothing to do with tech. Just hang out, fellowship, go get dinner, go to the beach, wherever, just hang out, become friends with the people that you serve with. Do a hangout, where you can agree to not talk about tech, at least church tech or issues that you've been having at church with the tech. You can talk about tech, like outside what you've been learning, what, the Lord's been showing you, but you just hang out with them, just fellowship with them, just try to be friends, get to know them, get to know their lives, just like how you would with your best friend from childhood. Get to know the people that you serve with. You can use communications tools like GroupMe to just talk. GroupMe is a great text messaging, like group messaging app that you can use to just talk to people, just build a group that's like, church name tech team, and just send text once in a while, send relatable tech memes, anything, to just have these relationships with the people that you're serving with. You can also pair people together during services so that they bond while they serve. So you don't want just the one sound guy in the sound booth and then the one ProPresenter person on ProPresenter, because then they're by themselves. It's good to have the main guy, someone assisting. That way, there's bonding, there's communication, there's friendships being made. Fellowship is very, very important. Healthy teams aren't just skilled, they're safe to serve in. And how you create that safe environment to serve in is to have friendly people, to have people that are friends to each other, that know who they serve with, that know their families. I know the girlfriends and the spouses of the tech team that I serve with. I talk to them when I see them. I text the team regularly during the week, not even about tech, just to catch up. Like, how you doing? What's the Lord showing you? How's everything? Hey, how'd that thing at work go? Just be friends with the people. We are family in Christ at the end of the day. We are supposed to love each other. We are supposed to encourage each other. And that's what we want to do with the team. Show them that as well so that they do it amongst themselves as well. And the last point I want to talk about today, and I think it's an important one, is to prevent burnout and creating sustainability. Like I said, this might be the most important section. If your team feels like they can't miss a Sunday, that's a red flag. We have to respect the personal time of our teams. People have families, they have kids, spouses, people have work. We can't just be expecting that they're there every Sunday, every Wednesday. And if they're not, we're going to shun them or talk down on them or try to correct them for whatever reason. If they can't miss a Sunday or they feel like they can't miss a Sunday, that's a red flag on the team bond, on the team environment. And there's no reason for anyone to feel that way. Healthy teams have a real rotation schedule, cross training so no one is stuck in one role forever, and a culture where rest is honored, not punished. It's wise to train people in all the different roles in the tech team. That way there could be a rotation. That way people can sit in with their families, sit in to receive from the Lord at least once, twice a month. And it's not the same people behind the board, behind camera, behind control room every Sunday or every service day. There has to be a schedule. There has to be that balance of serving, of sitting in, of resting. Also, like I was saying earlier in a previous point, cross-train people so that no one is stuck in one role forever. Cross-train them also so that in case someone's out a Sunday, people are able to fill in and help each other. Things happen. Problems arise, last minute things. Someone calls in, hey, I can't make it this Sunday. I already asked so-and-so if they can cover and they said yes. Or, hey, I can't make it this Sunday. I was wondering if you could find someone to cover. And since you've trained people, you can just call someone in, see if they're available to cover that spot. And if you have a good amount of people that are trained in that, chances are someone's going to be able to come in last minute and fill in. But also, we don't want people stuck in one role. We want our presenter guy to also one day serving cameras, move people around, give people different opportunities and different chances to grow in the Lord, grow in their skills, and grow within the team. We have to honor people's rest. We can't punish them for wanting to rest. People need rest. As human beings, we need time to relax, to rest, and refresh. That way we could come back and be ready to serve the Lord with a rested mind, with a healthy mindset. We can't just burn people out. We can't just expect the most from people and then punish them when they want to take a day off, or punish them if they're sick and they can't come in. Like that's not how that works. We have to honor people's time, honor the rest, and be aware to not burn people out. Something you could even do is you can just schedule people off. Like I said in the last episode, using Planning Center or some sort of scheduling system is great. So people know when they're scheduled, know what to do during service. And you could use this to schedule people time off. You could let your most consistent volunteers take a week off every couple of weeks, or schedule it for them. That way they don't feel guilty, or they don't feel like they can't ask for the time off. That way you let them know that, hey, I care about you. I want you to rest. I want you to refresh and come back and continue serving, and just schedule them off. You should have a good amount of people to cover. You should have a good rotation of volunteers. All right, let's recap the 6 points that we spoke about today. Number 1, start with a shared vision and mission. Number 2, recruit and onboard with care. Number 3, rehearse together to build unity. Number 4, train consistently, not just when things break. Number 5, build actual relationships, not just roles. And number 6, prevent burnout by rotating, resting, and releasing control. All right, I have a challenge for you guys this week. Pick one of these 6 and take a step this week. Maybe it's planning a tech hangout. Maybe it's building a rotation. Maybe it's just buying pizza and saying thank you. Because when your team is healthy, your worship is stronger, your Sundays are smoother, and your message goes further. If you need help building that kind of team, that's what we do here at Faith Tech Pros. Visit faithtechpros.com for a consultation, and let's build something sustainable together. Thanks for listening. Follow Church Tech Unmuted, share it with your team, tech pastor, worship pastor, and leave a review if this encouraged you. Until next time, serve strong, lead with heart, and stay unmuted.